Ladies, 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 and gentlemen. I'm so glad to see so many ladies today. So glad to see so many ladies today, whereas when we speak about tech, we have an immense majority of men. And looking at this crowded room full of ladies, most probably the majority of us today, I'm so happy and so glad that Morocco AI could invite so many great ladies with us. And we're honored to have you because you are the pillar of our both brains, because you have this sixth sense that might make the evaluation of AI advance in a better way, because us men, we stop at the fifth sense. And maybe with your sixth sense, you would make AI thrive. And as Minister told us this morning about his story, our right and left brain are probably fighting together to try to find a way for the human beings to cohabitate with the silicon species that AI is. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the pleasure to moderate the first panel with the distinguished guest that we have today. And let me give you a story about my discussion with Mr. Minister this morning when he told me what his dream was. Let's make it a dream. He said a nightmare, but we'll make it a dream. In my last book, Renaissance Now, I lay out the pink side, the dark side, and the in-between side of AI in which we are today. So there is a kind of mitigation we have to do on AI. And in the first scene of AI is a scene of a woman getting into a cab to go to the hospital. And on the way to the hospital, the taxi driver put on a radio program where Geoffrey Hinton was saying that he just quit Google, and he gave his reason. And his reasons were that he was frightened about this AI that he created for many reasons. And this morning, while I was coming from Casablanca, I saw Geoffrey Hinton having a speech, and he said, I was wrong. I thought AI was dangerous, as it was getting dangerous, but I think heading to AGI and superintelligence, and I'm sure most of you know what I'm talking about, I found out that in reality, AI will be so strong and much more intelligent than us as human species that maybe AI will consider us as her kids. And there is no any mother that would go against her own kids. So let's build the future of AI in terms of the mother taking care of the kids. This is the real story. You can Google it and you'll find it. It's for today. Now, let me welcome our distinguished panel, starting by Dr. Ghita Mezzour. Ghita is the founder and CEO of DecisiveAI. She's our former Moroccan Minister of Digital Transition. Ghita. She doubled the number of youth in AI, and she launched Digital Morocco 2030, which we discuss a lot, and helped attract more major R&D centered during her ministry. And it's making her one of the key architects of the Morocco digital future, because her vision for Morocco 2030 was a vision of a digital, I would say cohabitation.
Bravo.
See, this gentleman overpasses all our gentlemen. Then we have Mr. Peter Chun. Mr. Peter Chun? Yes, you are. Well, Mr. Chun is the president of the World Smart City Forum and former senior advisor of Korean President of Industry 4.0. He led the design of Korea's 6 billion national smart city projects and now drives global innovation through the Twin Cities. This is an initiative linking 25 smart cities around the world. And you know that cities embed citizens, and we are the human citizens, supposedly. And probably it will embed also robots in the near future. Then welcome Mrs. Majda Moumni. Majda, welcome. You're a CEO of the OCP Solutions and the driving force behind OCP digital transformation, which it's probably difficult. So with your deep expertise in data and AI sustainability, you bridge strategy, technology, and purpose, shaping how Moroccan industry embraces intelligent transformation. Welcome to you, Majda. Then we have Mr. François Foglia. I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it Foglia? Foglia, yes. Looks like an Italian name originally, right? Welcome, François. You're director of CF2 Sàrl and Innosuisse's mentor, you see. He's from Swiss also, Dr. Hicham. I know you're from EPFL. I'm born in Switzerland myself. So we he's a mentor. François is a bridge builder between research and industry. He helps Swiss SMEs turn bold AI ideas into real-world innovation, which is a difficult task. And he's transforming science into business impact. Welcome to you, François. Then we have someone I particularly cheer, Mr. Badr Boussabat. Badr, you're mostly welcome. Badr belongs to this new generation of Moroccans that decide to be in between their country of residence and Morocco, and I'm happy to have you, Badr. Badr is also a writer and a bit poetic also of his kind. He's an international AI speaker. He's a best-selling author on AI and advisor. He's over 1,300 talks worldwide in collaborations with Suite and GCC. He explores ethics, marketing and strategy, intersects AI, bringing uniquely global human perspective. Thank you, Badr, for being what you are. Then we have Mr. Hicham, Iraqi Houssaini. Someone who's doing a tremendous job at ACP, managing director of ACP Africa, the French part of Africa. He's a visionary leader with 30 years in tech. He helps organizations across Africa accelerate innovation and governance through AI-powered solutions. Welcome to you guys. A round of applause for our distinguished guests. Well, let me start by you, Ghita. As AI advances very fast toward digital Morocco, the program you laid down, which is Morocco 2030, how can AI accelerate competitiveness at the same time ensuring inclusivity?
So thank you for the invitation. It's my great pleasure to be here with you today. So I will talk about the competitiveness part, and then I will talk about the inclusivity part. So obviously, AI can advance the competitiveness of the Moroccan industry and private sector and public sector. First, because it can provide better service to customers and citizens. I would like to give an example, again, internationally. There is Ant Group in China. They have more than 1 billion customers, and they serve them with 10,000 people, employees, yet they can approve a loan in less than 1 second because it's algorithms that can decide whether this person deserves the loan or not. It means that citizens get loan approval services instantly. That's very different from having to wait days or even weeks. Another way AI can improve competitiveness is that it can help you reduce costs. I'll give you an example of industry, for example, fast-moving consumer goods industry. AI can help predict precisely the amount of sales, how much product you're gonna sell in this particular city or region, in this particular week, etc. And once you know exactly how much you're gonna sell, you can optimize everything. You can optimize your logistics, you can optimize how much raw material you buy, you can optimize your transport, and you can reduce costs significantly. For example, Unilever reduced the consumption of vanilla of chocolate by 10% just by being able to predict their sales. And that's huge. I mean, it helps being more competitive industry and competing with worldwide. AI can help you also sell more, for example, by having AI-powered digital marketing. For example, Pepsi used, not Pepsi, Heinz Ketchup used AI digital marketing. They improved their how much people engaged with them by 38%. But I would like to emphasize that AI is not just for Silicon Valley or a small club of countries. It's also for us too. It's for Morocco. Morocco today can embrace AI and should embrace AI as soon as possible. It's a matter of survival. Because if we don't, if Moroccan institutions don't embrace AI, others will do. They will become more competitive and they will take up all their market shares. So they better engage as soon as possible, not wait. And today I don't want to be like doing advertisements for myself, but today my new position is actually supporting institutions, public or private, who want to harness the power of AI and make it something for competitiveness, for more productivity, and helping them end to end towards this journey.
Thank you, thank you. Yes. Well, speaking about logistics, Peter, you've designed a global smart city strategies. How can cross-border collaboration drive sustainable industrial growth in Morocco? How can you project what you know about it into a country like Morocco?
That's a great question. The Morocco is absolutely should be the core of entire Africa in terms of digital transformation and the AI. Actually, the World Smart Cities Forum, actually, I'm sitting as a president there. We have two different initiatives. One is the Twin Cities initiative that you mentioned earlier. We reach out to 16 metropolitan areas around the world. Actually, we just announced it 2 years ago in New York City. And we also recently founded ASCA, Africa Smart Cities and Township Alliance, reaching out almost 30 cities and townships in Africa. And as a first pilot project, it's absolutely about the cross-border projects, dealing with not just only smart city, because smart city is pretty much big, broad terms. We basically input some kind of concept in artificial intelligence, how AI can prove something in the platform of the cities. So we just call it in short, in cognicity. So throughout the ASCA initiatives, we are building we just, empower the concept of Africa Cognicity Network. So every city is involved in this kind of systems. They are actually jointly working together. There are three different dimensions. One is education for sure, because AI is still, a lot of people like this misunderstanding what AI is, because we are basically between the regulation reality or something. We're trying to show how the AI can be really proved throughout the cities. So education is the key, not only for the people like students and professors, even the government officials. At the same time, we are basically bringing a lot of different types of industry in the city to develop and deploy something that can be possibly done. And so this kind of education plus industry and also regulation part, I'm going to talk maybe later. Yeah. And ASCA is a kind of working model because we are the foundation based in London and the UK. London and also in the United States. And I'm originally from South Korea. Basically, I'm helping the government in about 7 years ago how AI can be done throughout the smart city platform. Even we completed the Canary Wharf Financial District in London as a first smart city, AI smart city. It's called the Cognitive City. So where we differentiated, we built a 13 plus alpha, the very successful companies, unicorns, out of this. eToro, TransferWise, and Revolut is kind of one examples that we are actually combine the city with innovation into the system, and that's where you can realize what AI is really about. And I think that maybe I can just speak more because I'm just running out of time.
Thank you, Peter. It was very enlightening. Majda. Majda, you're head of AI at OCP Group, and we know, and I'm going to ask you a kind of tricky question. What should be the North Star of Morocco's AI's industrial vision, as you belong to one of the biggest industrial groups of this country? Is it efficiency, resilience, or sovereignty?
Thank you, Karim, for this question, and good morning to you all, to our distinguished attendants, to you, Karim, and to our to my fellow panelists. Indeed, I see it as I can't say that it's one of them, because it's at the same time we need both three of them that are intertwined, and mostly bring in the North Star of AI industry in Morocco to increase its speed, its capacity, and bring synergies at scale. So we can see it, for instance, that AI, if we apply it within an industry line, within an industry, will bring efficiency. So today, in several projects we have been worked on, and worldwide we can say that when we implement AI in an industry, it increases productivity by up to 20%. It reduces energy consumption around 15%, and it can reduce waste, improve predictive maintenance, so on and so forth. So we have a very high increase, a two-digit increase between 10 to 20% within the same, within an industry. So this increases our efficiency and therefore our competitiveness and our capacity to make our Moroccan industry more visible, more competitive, to increase its exports worldwide. If we increase our competitiveness, therefore we increase our resilience, and also AI plays an important role into increasing the resilience of the supply chain. And we can say proudly that Morocco has been successful in being resilient in terms of financial challenges worldwide, crisis, and in terms of adapting to the challenges of COVID. And therefore, in the future, we need to keep that resilience at the heart of our industry and the capacity to adapt to changing demands, and to think broadly beyond our capacity to source raw materials. So, of course, resilience is very important. And since we're talking about raw materials and, of course, cybersecurity, it is very important that within our industry and as part of our North Star to increase our sovereignty. The sovereignty is, of course, technological, by having worldwide partners invest in technology within Morocco. And we are also proud to say that we have amazing talents within Morocco, that we need to continue investing in the sovereignty of creating talents, of nurturing them with amazing use cases, with amazing topics, and therefore participate in our global sovereignty. So all this needs to be orchestrated at scale so that we create more synergies between different industries. Just an interesting use case, for instance, we can create a link between the imports of agricultural products and exports of mining or different industrial products by having better optimization of freight that is coming to Morocco, going out of Morocco, and especially that Morocco is positioned at the middle of all freights and logistics worldwide. So there are so many synergies that are possible, and for me, AI today is a great opportunity to push forward the capacities of our industrial ecosystems within Morocco.
Yeah, thank you, Majda. That was very well. Staying in the field of industry, I'm going to ask a question to François. François, you work a lot with startups in Switzerland. What separates technical breakthrough from scalable industrial innovation?
Thank you, Karim, for your question, and difficult question. I have my basic way to answer. So for over the last 20 years, I was deputy director of the research institute, IDIAP, well known in AI because he was born in 1991. And my role there was to try to turn cutting-edge research result into product and jobs. But in parallel, I was the director of an incubator, and there my mission was to listen to entrepreneurs, to understand their pain points, and to find them the right technology, the right algorithm to innovate. And what I've noticed is the problem is the same everywhere. Actually, this is not a question of new algorithm and so on. The point is crossing the valley of death. It means this crucial moment when research results become a proof of concept, but not mature enough to penetrate the market or attract the investors. And why? Just because they don't speak the same language. Researcher wants publication, and the company speak about loss and profit. So my perspective is to create connectors, to create translators, to have builders, bridges builders. And so at Innosuisse in Switzerland, so we have this kind of translator, and I'm Innosuisse, it's a federal initiative, and we try actually to turn business needs into research questions, or research results or scientific results into a real product. And I guess in Morocco, you have a lot of talents, but the question, the open question is not, can we do with AI? The question is more, how do we systematically transfer the AI into companies? So there is several options, of course, and I will discuss about a solution later, but we can, of course, train the staff members, we can give guidance or give support to CEOs, and, but we can also exploring new type of education, and let's expand on it later.
Yeah, thank you, François. Yes, well, Badr, how can Morocco balance the speed of AI adoption, knowing that at the end of the day, we need some ethical transparency, and we need some also standards that the global markets demands?
Thank you for the question. First of all, I would say that AI is one of the most transformative technology by far. It's having an impact on all sectors and simultaneously. It's also part of what we call the cognitive era. And please allow me to do a quick comparison between the cognitive revolution and the industrial revolution, right? So the two main differences are the following. The industrial revolution has been driven by large companies only, a few players in the market, right? The cognitive revolution is partially supported by small startups, more agile, more adaptive, and ready with this high capacity of reshaping the whole industry. The second distinction between the two revolutions is the following. We still have today, this is a word observation, existing industries slowing down the AI development, because they fear deep reconfiguration. new investments, new deals, new risks, and also the loss of short-term profits. This actually creates a tension, a positive tension between speed and control, comfort and innovation, all right? And in order to mitigate this tension, this is where ethics becomes so central. In my point of view, and I assume that, ethics is the catalyst of competition. 2 years ago, I've been invited by Swift to perform an independent research on ethical AI in finance. And long story short, my conclusion is actually about finding out that there is a potential positive correlation between ethical consideration of AI and competitiveness. And I'm here humbly to ensure, to let you know, dear guests, that there is no negative signal about considering AI, ethical AI in businesses in general.
Yeah, this is very powerful because most of the people think the opposite. They think there is a contradiction between performance of AI and ethics, which you show us that it's a wrong approach. Hicham, been a long time no see, by the way, Hicham. Let's come to the leadership mindset. As far as the leadership mindset, we see a shift in most needed for Morocco's industry. How do you see it happening to bring this shift into the Moroccan mentality?
Thank you, Karim. Good morning, everyone. It's a real pleasure to be here. So leadership is essential on the transformation that we are observing through the AI, and the mindset shift toward AI is crucial. And as we all know, people, they are looking up. So if we want to drive this transformative through leadership, we need that the leaders give the example and they harness the technology. There are a couple of things that I would like to figure out here. Number one is that leaders, they are here to figure out the strategy for companies, to use the resources, to develop people, and to explore the technologies in order to improve the competitiveness of every company. One part which is essential is the developing people, because through people this is how we can grow the companies. And as I mentioned, people, they are looking up, so they need, the leaders need, to harness the technology in order to be as effective as they can. And from some reading, what the best leaders, how the best leaders, they can use the technology. Definitely, if we do a survey here, all of us, we are using technologies, we are using ChatGPT and so. But there are some effectiveness way on how we can use the technology when it comes to leaders. There is one approach, what we call CRIT. It stands for context. R is stands for role. I is stands for asking question or interrogation, and T for tasks. So the way is completely to use the AI the other way, where the AI will become your partner, where the AI is your coach in order to ask the right question. Because at the end of the day, it's all about asking the right question and to help us, to think about strategy and to build, the future for the companies. Is rather than using the AI as a tool to bring us answers to what we can do in our daily. And the way, if we are using the AI as a coach, will completely help us, to shift from using AI as a tool who will help us, to do our tasks, and shift to a way where the AI is here to have this role as a coach. And by moving this way, we can really develop these capabilities of leadership. This is one example how we can use the AI, but definitely for the Moroccan leaders, this is an area when we need absolutely to invest, and this is how we can get this breakthrough for the Moroccan industry.
Thank you. Yes, using AI as a coach. I like the metaphor, and I think it's to the point. Now let's get into AI in a practical manner on the ground, guys. Ghita, what role can AI play in scaling Morocco's strategic industries, such as agriculture, energy, manufacturing? You've been thinking a lot about it with your team. Can you tell us what is your vision as for today?
I mean, AI can scale all strategic sectors, those that you cited and others. I mean, as somebody mentioned earlier, there is no sector where AI doesn't play a role today. Talking about agriculture, AI can help optimize water usage, and we all know that water is a huge deal in Morocco. It can optimize your use of fertilizers and which fertilizer you use. It can maximize production. And there are already success stories in Morocco. So OCP, for example, I know Mr. Chara presented to us one day how they're using AI to find the optimal fertilizer composition for every soil type, for every climate, etc. And they're selling it in Morocco and in Africa. There is also a Moroccan startup, Yola Fresh, that uses AI to optimize how much things go from farmers to retailers, and they reduce waste from 40% to 6%. They're just examples that are already in Morocco today, and obviously what can be done is much, much more. You talked about energy. Energy, I mean, AI can help predict energy usage, and once you predict and you know how much you're going to use tomorrow, next week, you can optimize everything. You can optimize the heat you consume, you can optimize the cooling, etc., and you reduce your energy consumption in a building from 15% to 30%. Also, at the plant, in an energy plant, you can do preventive maintenance. You can do a lot of things. In manufacturing, I already gave the example from, again, predicting sales. That helps you optimize your chain, sell more, predictive maintenance. I mean, the examples are countless, but there is one thing I want to say is for sectors or institutions interested in harnessing AI, it's not necessarily about the number of AI applications or the number of use cases. There's a very important exercise that's not very complicated, but needs to be done beforehand to identify the optimal and most promising use cases. Which ones have the most expected return on investment, but also are the most feasible. You have the prerequisites for them, you have the data for them, you have things for them. And you should bet on this most promising use cases to go further. It's not about, oh, I deployed 100 use cases or 1,000 use cases that all just remained proof of concepts. What we want from when we deploy AI is we want actual return on investment, actual value to your company, to your customers, etc. And for this, again, it's very important to bet on a small number of use cases, but do them well and do them end-to-end from the way and embark everybody. AI is not just technology, it's also about training your employees, it's also about having the right data, it's also about change management. So somebody earlier talked about the elephant. So unless you tackle all the parts of the elephant, the education, the ethics, the trust, the change management, and unless you handle the entire thing, it will just be a POC. And we want today AI as a transformative power for institutions, for countries, and for that, this end-to-end vision and betting on a small number of use cases is actually very important.
Yes, what I hear about what you just said is we have to choose our battles in different fields and do it properly from A to Z. Yes, Peter, can smart cities become industrial sandboxes? As in smart cities, you have so many parameters to take into account. How can you link the policies you will adopt in smart cities to be able to link it to the industrial challenge that the country has?
This is a very important question because a lot of people misunderstand smart city just only for the urban development. You know, very conventional way of building a new city. For example, Seattle, they hosted Boeing and also some oil companies in Texas in the 1980s and 90s. Basically, the city was pretty much depending on the big companies coming in. They just created job creations locally. But right now, we're facing the total digital transformations. If you actually take a look at the index, financial index in Wall Street, the top 100 companies right now is absolutely different from even 20 years ago, right? So we are actually facing a very rapid innovation and evolutions in the city development, innovation, everything. So what we believe that because us and World Smart Cities Forum recently raised a fund of $1.5 billion to building up the hospital. It's a cognitive hospital in India and also Kenya in Africa. And we actually just starting with the 3 different models as a total sandbox. I remind I don't remember, I'm sorry. I enjoyed your poem. So she reminded me of my sister. My sister passed away 3 months ago from cancer. And I actually pulled my sister for 6 months this year until he passed away. The thing is, luckily, these are hospitals named after my sister, and to support the cancer center in it. So cancer center requires the humongous of data. So we're not only talking about just data center; it's AI-driven data centers. So these tech sandboxes can be very fruitful for the innovators, techpreneurs, and startups. Each sandbox, we're actually looking at 1,000 companies in it to compete, or maybe they can analyze stack up the data into the city. So what we believe that, of course, Morocco has a lot of geographic advantages. For example, here in Casablanca over here is the financial hub. If you go up to the Tangier is a logistics hub. And the Morocco is actually situated between Europe, Africa, Middle East, even go further to Asia. So we believe that there might be multiple places we can actually bring some kind of sandbox model into here. You, of course, facing the FIFA World Cup 2030, that was a kind of maybe milestone to bring this ecosystem from Europe, from the Middle East, and Asia. So I was actually thinking about the building hospital model. It's not just a hospital, it's basically AI-driven center. And that is something that I'm actually looking at kind of mutual opportunities between us and Moroccan side.
Thank you, Peter. Well, that's the magic of open source. And I have to emphasize that Meta was the first company in the world to put open source into the hands of people wherever they are. And it allows today to anybody, anywhere in the world, whether the country is high cloud centers, whether not, to use this Meta tool at the fingertips of everybody. So kudos to you, Meta. Now, Majda, a little bit more about industry and sustainability. How is OCP solution leveraging the data and AI to make, I would say, industrial operations more predictive? You were talking about it in your previous intervention, but also efficient and in your case, OCP, sustainable? Because we have difficulties to apprehend the fact that dealing with phosphates could be a sustainable way of handling it. I know how your chairman is sensitive to that question. So can you tell us a little bit about it, please?
Thank you very much. So OCP Solutions was founded in 2018 with the purpose to put data, AI, modeling, and technology to serve the business. So by the end of the day, the purpose is to create impact, to make our operations, industries more efficient, and mostly more sustainable. Sustainability should not only be as like one action, but put at the heart of strategy, with AI also creating this nexus between sustainability and technology to have better society, better impact. So in regards to this, the focus should mainly be on the activity or the business. Because when we focus on the impact that we create, we can see and leverage and manage our operations in a very different way. So technology is in general somewhere around 30% in terms of what we need to build, but rethinking our business as more sustainable, rethinking also the organization, the ethics of using AI, our ethics as a company in terms of our sustainability responsibility, whether social or environmental or in terms of governance, need to be at the heart of what we do. And the fact that AI will improve operations will therefore make more room, more space, more time into more innovation, and innovation that drives sustainability, but also an innovation to go look for other technologies that we can leverage, such as quantum computing, and that can help us even be more disruptive in what we do. We definitely need to leverage technology and AI, but we mostly need to do it in an ethical and sustainable way, and to put this at the heart of the impact that we want to bring.
Yeah, I love your approach about quantum computing, which is my passion. And I think this will help in a very short time get into very profound solutions to reconciliate heavy industries like yours and sustainability. And it will happen in all sectors, I believe, but yours is particularly touched by this kind of a technological approach.
Thank you very much. If you allow, I would like just to add that we have a very small window that we need to capture right now. Because if we don't capture the technologies right now, if we don't invest, if we don't implement them very quickly, the gap, the opportunity gap or the performance gaps reduces over time. So there is a huge momentum that we need to capture, especially in Morocco right now.
Yes, you're so spot on. Thank you, Majda. François, let's get to the universities, because you've been working in between startups and universities yourself. How can partnership between universities, startups, and also corporations, let's say the triangulation of those three, accelerate the development of AI in a country like Morocco?
Okay, so building on what I said before, for me, well, we have to create those bridges and how to connect education, real world, and science. So for me, the first point is crucial to connect students as soon as possible with industry. This is my first point. In Switzerland, we have a specific model, a dual education model, commonly called apprenticeship. This apprenticeship, in fact, the model is really well known for young people to be trained and to learn typical or standard professions, okay? Like bankers, plumbers, electricians, and this kind of profession. And the model is really simple. Actually, it combines classroom training, standard, with unpaid on-the-work job. Okay? In this way, the apprentices can directly apply what they learn at school during the week in the company. So at IDIAP, in my research institute, we have adapted this model at the university level. It means that we have created a dual master in artificial intelligence, okay, with a local university and the state of my country. And in our model, the master level students apply to companies and become apprentices students, okay, and while they study. So it means that this is a university level version of our dual model where academic learning and real industrial work are really combined. So how it works? Actually, the students spent around 40% of their time in school and the rest of the time, 60% on real project in the company. And it's much, much more than an internship. Why? Just because the incentives are aligned. The company is invested because it pays the student, and the student is invested. Why? Because this is a real job. And the result of that is over 80% after graduation, the students stay in their company. It means that the company gets a really well-trained AI expert. At the same time, the student keep an high value added job, okay? And this is really a win-win situation. So it was my first example. And the second example is to directly support SMEs. And I would like to point the SMEs, not big company, because I think the AI can have a lot of impact in SMEs. And in Switzerland, SMEs are the heart of our economy. I guess this is the same in Morocco. And very often they find innovation too risky, maybe too expensive, and they don't have the technical resources. So as a consequence, we have a federal initiative that helps these SMEs, and we provide mentoring, we provide financial support, and also we try to fostering this connection between academia and company. And our Innosuisse initiative can pay up half of the project cost. So it means that we reduce the financial risk for SMEs, okay? And my job is to structure the innovative ideas inside the SMEs, to find appropriate partner, and to provide guidance on the project planning and strategy.
Yeah, thanks, François. We have a lot of people from universities here today. Maybe you'll have a chat with them just to interact and exchange experiences. Badr, I know all industries like Minister Ghita just told us are concerned by AI and are capable to handle AI. But to your opinion, which Moroccan industries would have the best leverage, the best leapfrog to onboard AI to make a real difference in the country?
That's a very interesting question. As the president of the Morocco's 1440, we had the opportunity to meet with some of the country's most advanced entrepreneurs on AI. And what's striking is that there are two important sectors, healthcare and finance. And these leaders are not only building new businesses about AI, they are also expressing the will to contribute to their country. All right, this is what I call the dialectal of progress. This is pretty much inspired by a great thinker named Hegel, a German thinker. And actually, every revolution, all right, evolves from a thesis and an antithesis towards a synthesis. Okay. In this context, the thesis is that we have very ambitious Moroccan leaders around the world. And the antithesis is there is a need to improve the healthcare system, the financial sector, and so on. And the synthesis here is not actually an opposition between both. It's actually a compromise, a new higher reality. And these leaders, by patriotism, are actually contributing to empower and to improve healthcare system, but also the financial sector. So in my point of view, patriotism, which is key, gonna leapfrog the globally, I mean, Moroccan leaders about AI.
Yeah, absolutely. I love your vision about taking the best of what AI can bring and making it applied to whatever you do. It's a matter of mentality. We've been talking about it this morning. Hicham, how can the enterprise platform like yours, like the one you belong to, SAP, help local businesses enhance productivity and reduce costs through AI integration? Minister Mezzour told us that it can be applied, given us examples. What are the most potent examples you would share with us that your company undertook in this in Morocco?
Thank you for the question, which I find very practical. That can resonate with the audience. Actually, what we see in SAP, I would take the example, how the technology is moving now is, number one, is to implement AI everywhere. And AI is becoming a core of all the solution that we are providing to the market. And the first thing to use in the AI, to use the assistant, for instance, to navigate through the solution. And this will help any user to adapt very quickly the solution, rather than going through the training and you know, it's a long process that brings people to master, the solution, is rather to use the assistant with natural languages to ask questions, to get insight from the system, to even enter data. And one area that we see there is a lot of progress on it is data entering, which create, the way how we are doing it today, which creating lots of errors that we need to control with quality control, etc. And we are forecasting by 2027, more than 80% of data entry will be done by natural language. And this completely will improve the quality of data, and definitely it will improve also the quality of the information we are getting through AI. This is one example. The second one, and I want to build on what Dr. Mezzour just said, that we need to start, small and to progress. And one area that we see, and I invite all the companies to look at it, is what we call cash application. And this is a use case where we are, doing the reconciliation between the payments and the invoices. And believe me that more than 80% of our companies who are using AI, this is the core functionality they are using. And every company and everyone who is managing a company knows the challenge that we are confronting with that. And by using these features, we are almost automating at 99% accuracy all this process. Another area where we see a lot of improvements is the prediction of the cash flow. And this is another challenge that most of the SMEs they are facing, is to predict the payments of their customers. And AI is today, and we have use cases that are already built in. So and this is toward SMEs. They don't need to go and develop by themselves. This is already in the system that will help them, to predict. And even before doing business with a new customer, they know the capacity of this customer from time perspective when he can pay them, and they can build their cash flow based on that and define how they can get, rather financial, etc. Last but not least is all the supply chain. And we have been talking about this with different panelists, and how we can improve the supply chain from end to end and reduce the stock, improve the cost of delivery, etc. We have platforms today that help companies even to predict the challenge that supplier is going through, or challenge with the transportation that is coming, and not only it's showing you the challenge, but also it's bringing you alternatives on timely perspective that will allow you, I mean, to keep the same quality, the same cost. Today we're talking about business network. ACP, we have a platform that gather more than 5 million suppliers across the world. So it can really bring all the alternatives on a timely manner.
Yeah, well, thank you, Hicham, for those very vivid examples of yours. We've been talking a lot since this morning about the features of AI and the potential of AI of really disrupting different sectors in different manners. Let's talk about human in the loop of AI. And let's talk about particularly about the talent-driven humans that are around AI and the relation between their behavior using AI and the responsibility of governance around AI. Dr. Ghita Mezzour, what policy framework can sustain AI innovation while supporting at the same time creativity and entrepreneurship?
This is a very important question that every policymaker around AI is now thinking about. So we want AI obviously has risks, has issues. So, and we are tempted, I mean, we need some regulation to stop bad stuff from happening. At the same time, we have to be very careful because if we over-regulate, we can just stop innovation and entrepreneurship, or as a country, we can totally fall behind. I will explain further. So AI moves very fast. Every day there is new development. And every policymaker knows that coming up with a new policy can take up months, sometimes even years, but let's say months. So how do you regulate something that doesn't even exist? That's an easy question. 2 years ago, there was no Gen AI. So how could a policymaker think of even what's possible? Another reason why it's hard is because, again, you need experimentation, you need R&D, you need exploration. These are researchers, startups that need to keep up with what's happening around the world. And if you impose heavy regulation and they have to go and see lawyers and see everything and heavy costs before they even start developing, before they even start selling their products, it's a death penalty to them. It means as a country, we will just fall behind everyone else because there are countries out there that don't even regulate. It means we will get even further behind. So it's very dangerous to over-regulate. Now, that doesn't mean we can't regulate. So I like to give the example of Dubai, and we can talk about it later, I know I'm running out of time, is they came up with something in the middle where they set up principles, but they again go by the approach of learning by doing. So regulating, they give you like a what we can talk about that later.
On the way.
On the way, yeah.
The way.
But over-regulating, even before you start, it's a death penalty to our country.
Yeah.
To AI in our country, not the entire country.
Well, Peter, let's come to the Morocco being a regional hub. How do you see, with your experience, this hub handled by those talents prepare for AI-driven industries?
Okay, so everybody talking about AI right now. As I said again, AI is a tool. It's not a final stage of production. So you gotta just bring something. You need to generate something from AI. You know, using the AI. The thing is, every idea is from every one of you, every one of the people. So that's one of the things that you have to define as root of innovation. And then we basically combine AI, how this kind of idea can be possibly, creating. And then the final result is, for example, what kind of ideas can be possibly implemented as a final production. So in being said, I think Morocco has a lot of magnificent, remarkable opportunity in terms of the geographic advantage that I mentioned earlier, because the Morocco has faced the Mediterranean Sea and actually access to European market and the Middle East market, African market, of course, further away to Asia. Actually, we are building hospitals in India right now, is Andhra Pradesh. Actually, 3 days ago, Google announced that they building $15 billion, the AI-driven data center, actually next to our spot. And also the Hyundai and Kia, they combined, they building $12 billion to support the infrastructure. So this is something that I believe that Morocco has a position to, attract the overseas. Industry 4.0 is a conceptual design, because I was in the middle, helping the South Korean government as the head of the Industry 4.0 a long time ago. The thing is, everybody talking about three things: data, digital transformation, smart city, and healthcare. So healthcare is everybody's missions and also the challenges for everybody. So that's why I mentioned we building hospital. The hospital becomes the medical city. Medical city requires a lot of innovations in it. So you need to bring a lot of attention, because not just only you facing to hosting the FIFA World Cup. After FIFA World Cup, you need to think about how to utilize your stadium. Stadium will be only used for 1 month. What about next? How many days you can utilize a stadium? So stadium usage is also, you can utilize a tool of AI to do something later. Thank you.
That's why a lot of cities, a lot of countries lose a lot of money out of the World Cups they organize. Well, let's go back to the human resources, Majda. Which talent and skill gaps must be urgently closed to prepare AI-driven industries like yours?
Thank you, Karim. First of all, I would like to congratulate our Moroccan universities and engineering schools for successfully embedding AI and modeling degrees and certificates and also trainings as part of their curriculum. I am personally impressed by the quality of our young talents and engineers that do internships and join us within OCP Solutions, and more broadly that I have the opportunity to interact with, because I see very strong technical capabilities that need to be nurtured, whether with different additional knowledge. First of all, today we are moving from the T-shaped profile and M-shaped profile. So the T-shaped, we have very deep expertise in one topic and global knowledge in different ones, or M-shaped, we have two strong technical knowledges or two strong expertise in two topics, toward X-shaped profiles, where we can rely on different sets of skills, different capabilities that as humans we have to orchestrate. And whether with AI or in the future with AGI, we are more in a role of orchestrating knowledge and playing with human and artificial intelligence both, and powering them up together. I think that whether for our young talents or for our active workforce, we need to nurture curiosity in regards to several topics, to have a better understanding of strategy, ethics, sustainability, innovation, technology, so that we can improve our own capacities and be able to connect the dots and be in this innovative mindset, which brings also the topic of meta skills. It is very important today not only to master a certain number of topics, but to develop meta skills where we are a fast learner, where we connect those dots, where we navigate ethics with the complexity of ethics, and where we mostly frame questions. So mostly it's mindset, curiosity, and also creativity. And I would like to thank Mrs. Rasha, who inspired us this morning. So this was really a spark that she created in us and that reminds us about our humanity. So it's an opportunity to have a broader set of capacities to power up the use of AI in a more ethical and in a way to improve our society.
Yeah, those are very, very important pillars which we could add a layer of responsibility and wisdom. And I think universities and whatever schools that are using AI have this tremendous responsibility of bringing wisdom to the spirit of those students that they're handling. Badr, no, François, before Badr, I'm sorry, François. François, you are in the midst of this triangulation. What does a responsible innovation ecosystem look like, and how can we build and support experimentation when you are handling a matter like AI that evolves on a daily basis, like Dr. Mezzour just emphasized?
Well, I'm not sure if I want to answer directly to your question, because I would like to complete what I said before also.
Do it as you wish.
Because for me, one key point is we need to train those professionals that serve as translators, connectors, and so on. And they become really fluent in both language, science, and business. And for me, one of my proposition is should be to create a group of experts whose mission is to identify innovation inside SMEs and build strong connection with academia. And I think this approach can foster a dynamic innovation ecosystem, bridging this gap I talked before. And my second point is we need really to give support to SMEs and to create on purpose success stories. The challenge of SMEs is not really technology. This is maybe the fear of the first step. And the state, or through its innovation agencies, should identify a finance pilot project in traditional SMEs. And the key action here should be every successful project will become a national case study that it will worth to communicate largely. And I think, in my point of view, it's only when CEOs see their peers succeeding that they will find the confidence to embrace transformation themselves. I mean, success is very often the best marketing for transformation. And my conclusion should be the following: AI transformation is not only technological, but it's human and a human and strategic venture.
Yeah, spot on. You're very spot on, François. Thank you for that conclusion. Badr, you come from two countries, from France on one hand and from Morocco on the other hand.
And Belgium.
When you look at Europe, we look at over-regulating. Mohammed Khalil spoke about it this morning. How do you see Moroccan companies integrate this technology and being ethical at the same time?
Thank you for the question, Karim. Lately, they have been thinking about a supramodel, how a country should behave in this AI game. This is new thoughts I wanted to share with you. In this framework, we need to more clarity about roles and structure. In the market, we have two main players, the public sector and the private sector, right? In this framework, the public authorities should follow and pursue a proper mission, which is embracing a static-based approach. It's not about making money, but enabling it for startups and companies. It's about collecting national data and making them available for startups in order to build upon these elements. The private sector or the companies, the startups, must follow what we call the income-based approach. It's all about making money, making businesses, because it's very important. This is how we can compete on the international level. These two forces together will lead naturally to what we call the market-based approach, which is actually an environment where companies will be able to exchange data. The way we trade assets in international finance, it's the same thing. This is going to be actually very fundamental in 15 or 20 years, but we need to start working on this already. This is the best way to ethically, let's say, bring positive competition into the game, and making sure that Moroccan entrepreneurs on AI will have enough solidarity, because when you set up a market-based approach environment, you create a sort of solidarity, exchanging data, because this data has a value, and this is something that's going to be fundamental in the upcoming years.
Yeah, very important point, the data. And in countries like Morocco and some other South Asian countries or African countries, data is a real concern because it was never structured before AI appeared. You had data all over, but nothing was really compounded to make it usable for AI. And AI is a structural tool to bring this data together and make it work for the sake of the development of a country. Hicham, what partnership between government, academia, and industry will be the key to scaling this kind of AI responsibility that we were talking about? Your company works in the three sides of it. Can you tell us about your experience regarding this?
Yeah, this is very critical aspect when we talk about AI. I mean, we highlight the fact that data is the key on everything we are doing, but ethics as well is another component that will make sure that we are non-biased when we are building the AI for the world. And to Badr points, I mean, one of the area is to let the governments work together with the industries and the academia to build those open data for AI, because with all the hallucination that we have with AI, to overcome that and to avoid the bias approach, we need to have local data that with the right level of quality that will allow us, to provide a better experience with AI. Definitely, in this three pillars, we have governments who want to regulate, companies who want to go fast, and the academia who are very known for innovation. And all three of them, they can, give this equilibrium to provide better AI, journey. Another area is to have this PPP, public-private partnership, to allow all of them to drive this fundamental education layer that can bring everyone toward the same consensus of understanding what we want to build as a nation for driving AI country. And having also those kind of open lab to allow the three components to work together on innovation and to build things that are tangible for companies in order to have very concrete use cases that they can start using now.
Yeah, thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you saw throughout this panel that the task of handling AI in a proper way is not easy. Whereas you come on one side for optimization of whatever tasks you do, and at the same time, you have to be bring wisdom as much as you can, because you don't know where we're going. We're in between, whereas we have the possibility of doing the best and using the best of AI for human alignment. This is a word that we pronounce nearly 10 times a day, human alignment. But at the end, it all comes to us. So what I would propose to you is to ask any questions you wish to this distinguished panel, and they will have the pleasure to reply to you. Anyone? Oh, 3 people, 4 people? Go ahead.
Bonjour Karim. Je vais aller un petit peu en français, puis après je vais revenir pour ma question, parce que ça permet de sortir du sujet vers COD. Ce que je retiens, c'est que l'IA, effectivement, aujourd'hui, c'est plus qu'un... Aujourd'hui, elle est rentrée chez tout le monde et qu'on est en train de réfléchir au Maroc pour trouver notre position. Ma question, est-ce que ce n'est pas opportun aujourd'hui de voir comment on va combiner aujourd'hui des IA qui sont déjà verticalisées sur l'éducation, sur la santé. On a la chance d'avoir aujourd'hui, on va dire, 2 grands systèmes qui ont une inimité très forte, les Américains et les Chinois. Et aujourd'hui, on a DeepSeek, on a les Américains aujourd'hui avec Meta, et donc nous avons intérêt à prendre le meilleur des 2 mondes pour pouvoir effectivement déployer notamment le DeepSeek sur tout ce qui est considéré comme local, parce que ça coûte moins cher, on l'a vu, personne ne les voyait venir, et aujourd'hui, ils sont là avec DeepSeek. Et utiliser Meta quand on est sur les domaines réglementés, donc notamment avec l'Europe et les États-Unis. Et ma deuxième question, je n'ai pas vu passer, mais est-ce qu'aujourd'hui, on peut déployer de l'IA sans parler de la cryptographie aujourd'hui post-quantique, notamment sur les données sensibles? Donc, j'ai la chance de monter avec une grande université aujourd'hui dans la salle BDO et Naoris, une association sur la cryptographie post-quantique avec une dimension africaine. Donc je voudrais savoir, est-ce que c'est des sujets sur lesquels aujourd'hui, dès qu'on parle de l'IA, on l'intègre pour ne pas nous retrouver à monter une maison et laisser les portes et les fenêtres ouvertes?
Thank you.
Et tu prendras la gentillesse de traduire, mais j'ai préféré y aller comme ça en français.
Absolutely. Dr. Rita Mezzour, can you answer the first question, please?
I think Morocco's position is not to side with either US or China, is we're open. I mean, I'm talking about my previous perspective as a former minister. We never side with one or the other. We're open to all technologies. But I wanted to say that AI is not just about DeepSeek or ChatGPT. These are tools, these are LLMs, but the applications are a step further. When I talked about predicting your sales, when Hicham talked about handling your invoices, we're talking about actual applications. I think Morocco today is asking, I mean, the real question should not be whether I should go with DeepSeek or OpenAI or Meta. The question for Morocco today is what actual use cases we should be deploying independently of which technology, and how to make sure that these use cases should actually deliver real value to institutions, to companies, to citizens. And AI is important. I mean, the tool, whether it's this LLM or it's LLM, yes, it's a question, but it's one step further. We're going beyond that. I want actual citizens to when they go to administration, they go get value services instantly in a language that speaks to them. If OpenAI does that, wonderful. If Meta helps me achieve that, if DeepSeek gives me that, that's not that's not the main question in Morocco today. You talked about sensitive data. Sensitive data now, in Morocco regulation, sensitive data has to stay. And again, there is a very specific definition of sensitive data. It's very important to clarify that. In Morocco regulation, sensitive data is data if compromised can compromise national security. So it's not sensitive data for you or your institution, it's sensitive data at national level. If compromised, the entire security of the country is compromised. And there is a classification for that, and DecisiveAI is involved in that. For that type of data, that data has to stay in Moroccan soil. And actually, even in the cloud, it has to be on what's called trustworthy cloud. So that's more advanced for that. If it goes to the US or China, we're not happy with that. For that type of sensitive data. For other types of these personal data, CNDP is involved, etc. But I don't know if I answered your question, but we're not taking sides. Morocco is not taking sides today.
Yes, and I would add something about post-quantum cryptography as I work in this field. We have an issue today with AI, particularly one type of AI, which is self-recursive AI. Self-recursive AI can enter any field in a very easy way by millions of intents until it enters. So this is why this post-quantum cryptography, or post-quantum protection, which is how can we make environment be quantum resistant, as quantum is 10 billion years more powerful than a supercomputer. Then you are touching a very important point, but not getting into that. Let's stay into normal use of AI on a daily basis. I think, like Minister Hicham just said, whether it's a government, whether it's an environment of a company, whether it's your home, whether you're in a smart city, or whatever, name it, the security issue is a projection in terms of industry of $100 trillion within the next 10 years. So you imagine how powerful this sector will be because of the power of the risk that we endure in any field, anywhere. And post-quantum cryptography is ruled by NIST in the US. It's the only place where you can be post-quantum cryptography, post-quantum validated. Is also a place where people don't know to what extent we are facing security matters. So it's still something under research, under construction.
Bonjour, merci. Abdsamad Filali, CEO de Holokia, une start-up spécialisée en IA. Après 30 ans en France, je viens de rentrer il y a 4 mois pour m'installer définitivement au Maroc. Alors, je vais faire un témoignage qui pose un problème.
Mais court, s'il vous plaît, parce que nous avons d'autres questions.
Très bien. Alors, je ne poserai même pas le témoignage, je poserai la problématique. On attend, et ça c'est destiné directement au gouvernement, on attend toujours un processus de consultation pour élaborer une stratégie d'IA pour le Maroc. Parce qu'aujourd'hui, il n'y a pas de document, il n'y a rien dans ce sens-là. Alors, l'IA, ce n'est pas seulement une technologie, c'est une question politique, géopolitique, sociétale et je dirais même civilisationnelle. Aujourd'hui, j'ai une start-up, j'aimerais poser la question qui est un peu technique au gouvernement, mais qui a des répercussions politiques et géopolitiques. Dois-je utiliser de l'open source ou des LLM propriétaires? Si c'est de l'open source, qu'est-ce que le gouvernement a mis en place pour les entreprises, les startups, pour qu'ils puissent accéder à des modèles très très importants et être compétitifs? Ça, c'est la première question, plutôt c'est le premier volet. Si c'est propriétaire, que dois-je prendre? Et je rejoins la question. Je prends les modèles chinois ou américains? En d'autres termes, je transfère les données des Marocains en Chine ou bien aux États-Unis? Ou bien il y a une troisième alternative. Et c'est cette alternative qu'on doit la prendre. Et c'est pour cela, c'est une question géopolitique. Le Maroc tout seul ne peut pas exister, parce que c'est une question existentielle. Ça, on ne l'a pas encore bien dit. Si demain, un pays peut être carrément éliminé, il ne peut plus exister s'il est mal vu par l'IA. Demain, tout va devenir agentique. C'est-à-dire, si vous êtes mal vu par l'IA, vous n'êtes ni recommandé ni pour les investissements, ni pour le tourisme, pour rien. Si j'avais plus de temps, je vous aurais expliqué et demandé des exemples pour comment l'IA, le pouvoir économique d'une partie est passé aux mains de l'IA.
Très bien, merci. Docteur Rita Mezzour a jumpé sur son micro parce que votre question l'a beaucoup interpellé.
Oui.
The question is directly directed to Minister Rita Mezzour, so she will.
I'll answer this question because I was an AI startupper, And I was the minister who drafted, who actually piloted the entire, coordinated the entire drafting of the Digital Morocco 2030 strategy. So I would like to emphasize, I emphasize it many times, but it's never enough. AI is a core part of the Digital Morocco 2030 strategy. You don't say this, it's the core. I'm an AI person by education, by training professionally. So you cannot even think that we did not think about AI when we were working on the strategy. It's everywhere. So when we talked about e-government, the priority was on deploying AI use cases. When we talked about deploying private sector, the priority was about bringing actors that work on AI here in Morocco. The priority was in encouraging AI startups. Morocco startups have had double digits growth in the past years. We've jumped on international rankings. More needs to be done, totally agree. There's a lot of work. When we worked on talent, I personally worked and fought so that the number of Moroccans taking digital training and AI training reaches up to 100,000% by 2030. The program you worked on, I personally worked on it and fought for it. And now in every Moroccan university, there is AI training and wonderful AI training, as Majda mentioned. We worked on bringing cloud providers, hyperscalers in Morocco, and having homegrown cloud so that you can find the solutions as a startup. So don't even think that AI was not on our mind and on Morocco ecosystem, because the Digital Morocco 2030 was not just our ministry. It's all actors, private, public sector, startups that worked on it. So don't think that we made a choice of not calling it AI strategy, because there isn't just AI. There is AI, there is blockchain, there is quantum, there is cybersecurity. So we wanted a comprehensive strategy. We did not name it. Some people blame that, said, oh, we didn't take AI seriously. But that was a choice we made to have something more comprehensive, because AI is important. AI is part of digital technology, but it's not the only one. Somebody just talked about quantum. Cybersecurity is a big deal in Morocco. We just witnessed the past attacks, so we wanted something more comprehensive. That's a choice we made. You approve or you don't approve, it's a choice we made. Now, you asked very specific questions. Should we go with the Chinese or with the Americans? Morocco made a specific choice, and this is something I discussed with the highest people who are concerned. Even I don't want to give names, but the people who are concerned about geopoliticals. Morocco, as a country for centuries, likes to remain open. We don't take sides. We don't say we go with Chinese, we don't go with Americans, we're open to everybody. As a startup, you think that American models work for you, go for them. The other startups likes the Chinese models, they go for them. The only restriction is for sensitive data, it has to be on Moroccan soil. We don't want Americans, we don't want Chinese, we don't want it to go to the US, we don't want it to go to China, we don't want it to go to France. Sensitive data has to be on Moroccan soil. Now, you have to be innovative how to do that with LLMs and GPUs, and in DecisiveAI, we're working on that today, because I know it's an issue. How to have AI solutions run on Moroccan soil and develop AI solutions that run on Moroccan soil, and that's something that in my company today, I'm personally working on. You have to be innovative, but this is the Moroccan position. If it's not sensitive, run it anywhere you want. If it is sensitive, it has to be on Moroccan soil.
I will add to that if you look at AI, it's a neutral technology at the end. It's a tool. The most important thing, and maybe all our panelists will also agree, is that it has to be adapted to the environment it's laid out. And us as Moroccans, we have to look at it in the lens of having AI adapted to our ecosystem, to the Moroccan ecosystem. Now, you can use it to optimize whatever you want to optimize. But at the end, you belong to a country which has an identity, and any country is concerned by this. And the power of open source, just to come back to open source, is that you can use it and be completely sovereign, neither as a startup, as a company, or as a government, if you want to use it, keeping your data inside your country? Two last questions, guys. The lady there.
Thank you so much. Further on this apparent tension between regulation on the one hand and innovation on the other, and maybe also linking it what you said at the beginning about Hinton's call for motherly intent as undercurrent of our future AI. I'm wondering what your thoughts are on a shift of our intent in the algorithmic architecture of the future. Maybe there is an alternative path with regenerative intent as the undercurrent of future AI systems. Any thoughts on that? Thank you.
Yeah, I would let Majda answer to your question because she's handling also the new human resources and also Badr to complete the question.
I'm not sure I got it very well. Can you kindly reframe the question or re-say the question?
Thank you. Right now, AI systems are configured with exploitative intent. Now, maybe there is another way. Maybe there is an option to reframe it. And linking this to this call for an AI with motherly instincts, and that is not configured towards how get we rid of humanity, how do we exploit humanity, etc., also as it was called this morning in the fiction future of an agentic avenir. Comment est-ce qu'on veut approcher nos systèmes de AI?
In other words, how would you consider you're a woman, you're a mother? In my introduction, I emphasizes that Jeffrey Hinton talked about being taking the paradigm of handling AI through mothership. How do you see it on your end, being an industrial, and how would you recommend to your organization to use that in terms of mothership?
I completely understand the perspective of putting AI, let's say, in a mothership, but as a nurturing, but I would say more in service of humans. As a mother myself, and as many of you are parents, I would not ask AI to be the parent of my own kids, because this is my responsibility. And as His Excellency said this morning, when we have an accident, what are the ethics in terms of decision making? So, and as you asked her, Mrs. Mezzour, in regards to the responsibility and the human in the loop. So, I believe that AI and AGI and all future technologies to be used as the service to serve humans, to serve, giving power to each one of us. So, for instance, today, of course, I can't answer all the questions that my son asks me about sharks, but we use ChatGPT together to compare it with other, with different species, etc. So, this is an activity that we do together. And that I don't ask only sorry for naming the LLM, but let's say an LLM to take that responsibility. And it's also my responsibility to ask, to help him frame the right question. So for me, the responsibility will keep being human. We have extremely powerful tools that are reshaping our societies, how we interact with each other. We should not, and even today, the technology companies are taking in consideration how to make the tools, how to make us more connected and less isolated, because they can create this tendency. So I would, if you allow me, reframe mothership into responsibility and service. So making all those agents, all this AI to serve us as a humanity to be better humans, to create more prosperity for our society, to give more power to each person, the operator, the manager, the mother, the father, and the students, so that we power up our capacities. In the past, we used to have limitations, many limitations in terms of access to knowledge, in terms of access to networks, in terms of access to information. So we can really say today that there is no limit, if not the limit to try to save our planet, not to save our planet, but to engage in responsible actions so that we also have sustainable actions from the environmental perspective and from the society perspective.
Thank you, Majda. I hope she answered your question, but you could talk about it in the during the pause period. We have a question here.
Mahdi Aish, data and AI architect and the founder of Data Story, which is a Moroccan company helping clients building their data platforms and AI, developing AI agent. I have a question for Mr. Peter, as he is an expert on smart cities, as we are currently working with the Agadir city on an AI citizen assistant. And my question is, what are the two must-to-have AI solutions for any any city in the world, let's say? Thank you.
Yeah. What are the most, to your experience in smart cities, what are the two most potent AI that you have to use to handle the distribution of the city and its functioning?
As I said, AI is a tool, right? So we basically, the most important component of the AI generative cities right now, because everybody talking about American model, Chinese model, is basically talking about stage 1 of AI. We are actually just a lot of way to go to the kind of final round. So basically, you don't have to rely on this kind of model. That's why we are basically bringing the sandbox model. So sandbox for the city. Small city doesn't mean anything about entire city. Basically, we are looking at between 10 acres to 30 acres maximum, where about maybe 100,000 people can do something. What are you going to do with those people? Because we are utilizing those citizens or the people actively working on contributing their the data or ideas to constantly building sustainable city utilizing AI. So that's why, I actually spoke with Mohammed and also the Madam Minister before. And Morocco has a lot of advantages because you speak 3 different languages, Arabic, French, English. Yeah? Amazira? Okay. So it's amazing. I mean, also access to, you can even see entire Spain from the hill of Tangier. And basically, I don't know, maybe it's massive opportunities after a World Cup. But in the meantime, we do believe that it's just not only local thing, because somebody talking about the security, I think maybe AI is a kind of your next, the second phase of defense. Every data should stay in this country, but you can utilize, you can actually extend to all the innovation ecosystem. This is the first, thing that Moroccan government or maybe community need to do first. You have to open doors to deliver something, utilizing your assets to build something. I think that maybe the AI-driven, the data center is required. And for example, South Korean government, they are putting $10 to $13 billion only for the next year, only designating data hub in South Korea, which is about a small city. But entire city becomes AI-driven city, something like that. And not only from the government side, there are like 5 major conglomerates in South Korea, they just chipping in. So government money is only $10 billion, but it will be maybe 10 times bigger in the next 3 years. So World Cup is catchy, but utilizing World Cup, you gotta just focusing on this kind of transition, digital transition or something. You need to designate 1 or 2 couple of cities in Morocco. My suggestion is triangle corridor, Tangier, Fez, Rabat, Casablanca. Casablanca is a financial hub, and Tangier is a logistics supply chain hub. Fez, my recommendation is building smart industry hub. Like you can build some kind of the future, the manufacturing side will be also transformed into AI-based manufacturing, which is called the smart factory systems. So because it's very, very close, access to European market, as I said, but you need also, the developing some of the transportation systems. Not only just, convey people, you need to probably maybe speed a train for, logistics. Something like that. You can test something out because you have justifications to spend money from government side. At the same time, you have to ensure how to strengthen the innovation ecosystem from private sector. You need to open the doors, how to bring those kind of assets, materials outside of Morocco. Then I definitely sure Morocco can be a leading for the next generations.
Thank you, Peter. Those are wonderful ideas to grab for our government. Yes, you have 2 questions here, 2 questions there.
Merci. Je voudrais insister sur l'exemple de la Suisse. Et je crois l'écosystème de Suisse introduit et les centres de recherche et principalement le Centre européen de recherche nucléaire, le CERN. Et je crois beaucoup d'innovation. La Suisse est le premier pays du point de vue innovation. Donc, je voudrais à notre collègue suisse quelles ont été les étapes pour créer cet écosystème au niveau de la Suisse, reliant les universités à l'industrie, et rien que l'impact quand le CERN fait un appel d'offres, les entreprises, en lisant l'appel d'offres, ils savent où va l'innovation et où on peut faire des sujets de recherche innovants. Alors le deuxième point, je suis tout à fait d'accord avec Madame la ministre, la souveraineté fait que nos données doivent rester au Maroc. Et nous avons le data center de l'OCP, le Toubkal. Quel est le taux d'utilisation actuel? Je sais qu'il y a des conventions avec le Japon, mais pour des données d'expérience et de physique fondamentale. Alors le deuxième point pour l'OCP, il y a eu l'expérience formation en alternance à Khoribga entre la faculté et l'entreprise OCP. Elle a été arrêtée, je ne sais pas pourquoi, il y a eu 4 licences professionnelles qui travaillaient en alternance entre la faculté et l'OCP.
Merci.
Donc
merci
pour moi, cet écosystème entre la recherche, l'université Ben Grir, Euromed FS, et je remercie le collègue qui a parlé qu'il faut investir au niveau de FES pour les smart factories. Et merci.
Merci pour la question. Alors évidemment, la question que vous adressez, le modèle économique suisse, le modèle de développement de la recherche dans l'IA et la relation entre, évidemment, l'implémentation de l'IA dans la vraie vie et l'environnement de recherche, l'environnement universitaire. Comment est-ce que vous l'avez, vous, vécu et qu'est-ce que vous considérez comme étant les bonnes pratiques ou les pratiques que la Suisse considère comme étant des pratiques qu'elle doit corriger?
I have to answer in English. So you talk about CERN, but CERN for me it's a specific case, very special, because it's financed by a lot of countries first, and they mix a lot of cultures and so on. If we think about internet, we know that internet was born in CERN, but it's just because it answers needs inside the Sàrl, because they have to discuss together, they have to communicate, they have to work together, and so on. And internet is born just because of that. And I like when you say that Switzerland is first rank in innovation. Maybe I will disappoint you, but Switzerland is class first, but mainly based on chemical and chemical and health industry. And for me, as I said before, I worked over 20 years in a research institute, and we were born in 91, and IDIAP, it's Institut d'Aller-Mollet d'Intelligence Artificielle Perceptive, so we did AI since 91, but Switzerland now is late in AI, unfortunately, because EPFL or even ETHZ maybe missed the train. If you read the press today, they announce our own LLM model a few weeks ago, and you cannot do this kind of things 3 years after the apparition that ChatGPT appears. So I'm a little bit concerned about our innovation in terms of AI in Switzerland right now. And Sàrl is very special case, as I said, because it's financed by a lot of countries and mix a lot of cultures.
Thank you for being so open about the development of AI in your country. It's very rare. Majda, tell us a little bit about the OCP problem of handling the training. There was several experiences. Some of them worked, some of them didn't. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Experiences in terms of adopting AI?
Yes.
Okay.
And the powerness of the cloud center that you have, and putting the cloud center into the disposal of the Moroccan government with the experiences you have until today.
So those are many questions. I will try to address many of them. Indeed, we have GPU capacities within UM6P in College of Computing. So for the researchers and as OCP Solutions, we have a partnership so that we can train our models on their capabilities. There is, of course, the Atlas Cloud Services that works whether for OCP and with a role of sovereignty, working with other players in the Moroccan ecosystem. So OCP, let's say, through these different capacities, is building capacity for itself, but also to serve other Moroccan companies and to support. So building those capacities to serve everyone. That's why ourselves, we are a Société Anonyme, so that we can work whether with OCP or with any other company and bring our impact more broadly. In regards to OCP, there has been many projects when we're talking about digital, and it's if we step back and see where is the industry positioned in regards to adopting technology and especially AI, it is so much easier to do that, first of all, in the finance sector, in the retail sector, in certain manufacturing sectors where we can, manufacturing especially. But when it comes to process industries, this is so much more difficult, because we rely on raw materials that are changing, like natural raw materials that doesn't have always the same profile, etc. So certain industries have been, it's been more easier for them to adopt AI and as part of their key operating model, and also better use data. When it comes to industries or mining, this is much more difficult, but thankfully today we have edge computing, we have improved technologies, digital twin, etc., to simulate the mines and industries. And let's say what is most important is to learn from the experiences. and to take in consideration how we work with legacy systems and also, let's say, more AI native technologies. So, of course, we need to put in place strategies to update them very quickly with the technology advancements, to orchestrate all of this from a strategic perspective, but also give opportunity and space for experimentation and especially also adoption. And I will end with this. OCP has been heavily investing for its employees in terms of trainings to raise awareness about the importance of AI, not only as a tool, but as part of the strategy, and giving this knowledge not only to few decision makers, but to all employees. So this is very important to start with awareness and to build our way up into the maturity, into a more mature use of technology and AI.
Yes, those are outstanding ways of handling the technology, where you have such a tremendous industry as OCP, and share your knowledge, share your experience, share your practices with the rest of the country and with the rest of the world, which is what OCP does perfectly. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we have to wrap up this first panel. I want you to give a round of applause to our panelists. They are standing. I'm sorry for not letting the word for everybody. We could stay here we're here for the whole day, so we're going to learn a lot during this afternoon. Thank you very much.